Hi, I'm Erin Mallory Long. Today we're going to talk about Season 2, Episode 8 of Dawson's Creek called The Reluctant Hero. Now, I wasn't sure what this episode was going into it, and then I quickly remembered it, and then I realized that The Reluctant Hero, I think, is both Dawson and Pacey, because basically this whole episode is just women saying to the two of them, like, thank you so much. You've, helped me so much. You are my hero. So let's get into it. It starts with Dawson and Pacey having a movie night together. Dawson's making them watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And then Jen comes in through Dawson's window really drunk. And then we find out that Jen's been doing this a lot this week. Ugh. Mitch is at Dawson and Gail's house, kind of picking stuff up. Dawson is super moody. And I think the main thing that Dawson's Creek has taught us is that it's not just teen girls who are moody to their parents. It really, Dawson's Creek really has opened up the idea of, hey, teen boys are assholes too. Which I like. It's kind of like reading Order of the Phoenix, where you're just like, come on, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you such a dick? And that's Dawson, but for the entirety of the series. Pacey is kind of finding out from his guidance counselor that he's in deep trouble school-wise, which is sort of standard Pacey fare, but now Andy's involved, so it's kind of a new thing. And Dawson finds out in the mail that he won a film prize. So that film that they did in the first season that Joey produced won $2,500 for their next movie. So Dawson goes to Joey and is like, great, we can make our next thing. And she's like, kind of being hey, remember how movies aren't my thing, they're your thing? What are you doing? So then Jack comes up to Joey. Jack really wants them to be friends, maintain their friendship after he kissed her and she then broke up. And it's kind of you're being too chill about this. A lot of things have happened. You guys kind of can't just be friends. But also at the same time, I'm this is high school. I definitely understand. Andy is kind of very impassioned about this guidance counselor thing, and it's sort of they're not believing in you, we need to help, blah blah blah, I'm gonna help you. And then Chris is back from last week's episode, and he is has this gross friend who's yeah, I'm doing a kegs and eggs party, which I'm again, how old are you guys? Are you not in college? I don't know any high school kids who knew about this stuff, who made parties this stupid frat party thing. It's so unbelievable and crazy. And then it's when they do end up going to the party, it's just this giant house again. And it's just no one's there and 100 people are there. And I'm what is happening? But so we find out that Jen has been partying with Chris, and that's kind of where their story has gone. Andy and Pacey end up having this touching moment, and he's just kind of staring at her which is I mean, I love Pacey. Jack basically just makes Joey laugh in the lunchroom, and then she agrees to essentially go on a date with him, but then they call it a dat, and I was I can't with you guys right now. Jack kind of goes up to Andy and Pacey and is oh my god, I have a date with Joey, which fine. And then they kind of talk about, Andy and Jack talk about their mom, and Andy's she's doing well, and Jack's And so it's kind of this thing where it's what's actually going on? Then Dawson stops by Joey's house unexpectedly, which is not great because she's agreed to this date with Jack, and she's of course putting on her nicest cardigan to go on this date. So he stops by and then is here's half of the prize money, you should have it, which yes, absolutely, you need to give that girl that money. What are you doing? She accepts it and says that it's so nice and she could actually really use it, but we know that Joey always has money problems, so of course she needs that money. What is going on? And then Dawson's oh, you're all dressed up something like that, and she's oh, I'm just hanging out with a friend. But it's Joey, he knows all of your friends. You have no friends except the people that he knows. So it's that doesn't make any sense. And then of course Dawson sees Jack arrive at Joey's, and he just kind of stares directly at him, and I'm just I actually can't deal with this. Dawson is helping Mitch move stuff in, and then is just immediately rude to Mitch. I actually can't look at teens being rude to their parents in media, because it's such a foreign concept to me. I know that I couldn't have talked back to my parents like that, so I never tried. Do you know what I mean? It's baffling for me to watch teens do this on TV shows. Dawson actually agrees to go to the party with Jen because he's just like, fuck everything. But then is immediately like judgy about the party. Like someone hands Jen a beer and he's like, And then like Chris takes Jen and is like, let's go dance. But it's like daylight and they're just like inside a lake house. And I'm just like, okay. Like, these kids are like, I don't even know what they're doing. And Dawson is just like judging from outside. It's just like so weird. Andy and Pacey go over to her house to study, and you can immediately tell that something's wrong with her mom. Like, she doesn't know what's going on. She thinks the brother is still alive, and Pacey's like, what the fuck? And Andy's like, leave me alone. And I'm like, ugh. Then Joey and Jack are having this stupid date, and they're talking about lightning, and then she starts talking about Dawson, and he gets mad, and I'm just like, I can't with you guys. I just need to speed up their storyline so that, like, their relationship is over, you know? So, at the party, Dawson is basically watching Jen in basically what's going to be, like, an Alyssa Milano and Fear situation, which I can't handle, and it actually, like, I found that scene really upsetting to watch. In the show, because usually Dawson's Creek is like fake drama, and this is like real drama of like that gross guy like making out with her, and then like Chris coming up around, and then like Dawson ends up like saving her from like from like both of them, and like she's obviously too drunk to consent to anything, and it just like it makes me so upset. And I just like I'm just like, you're not doing Jen like, you're doing Jen a disservice. Like, I just want that character to be happy, you know? Like, I just need Jen to be okay, and I need to get to the point where she's okay. But Dawson basically, like, takes her out of the party, and she's, like, mad at him, but then, like, immediately sort of calms down, which is nice. While Andy and Pacey are studying, and you can see that Andy's holding on by a thread, she gets a call that, like, her mom is back at the market again. And this is a thing that, like, her mom has done a few times. And, like, they're like, we're not calling the cops. However, so, like, they have to go down to the market to, like, save it. But then basically all that's happening is, like, she's kind of just, like, holding court in the market, like, talking to everyone, but, like, won't leave. So it's not, like, an aggressive situation, but it's, like, very, very sad. We finally get to the end of Jack and Joey's date, and they kiss, and I'm like, whatever. Again, just let's get rid of them. Pacey is rightfully, like, worried about Andy, worried about what's going on with her mom, like, trying to figure out everything. They finally agree to just, like, finish studying. Fine. Dawson actually brings Jen to Mitch's place, which I guess is closer to the party, to, like, recover, which, like, is sort of him, like, making this peace offering of, like, okay, we can kind of be friends. But again, it's like, why do you want to be friends with your parents? Like, why do your parents want that? Whatever. So... And then it's like, he just kind of like agrees to meet Mitch's friend, which I'm like, again, that's your dad. And basically it's like, Andy's telling Pacey that he's a hero. Jen's telling Dawson that he's a hero. You know, like that kind of thing, which I guess is the reluctant hero part of this. I can't. But then Joey comes into Dawson's window, and he's not there, and like picks up a shark stuffed animal and stuff. And then just kind of like is sad and leaves. But the whole time, a Goo Goo Dolls song is playing. And it's the one that's like, No One's Listening. Like, it's called Acoustic Number 3. No One's Listening. Whatever. I love the Goo Goo Dolls. And especially like 1998 Erin, like, is just like, I'm rewatching this as an adult. And I was like, oh my God, it's Goo Goo Dolls and Dawson's Creek. Like, it's too much for me. I cried. I absolutely cried. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, well, the next episode is the election, and I, again, don't remember what that one is, but I will see you then. Tell me in the comments if you love the Goo Goo Dolls, because I love the Goo Goo Dolls. Okay, bye.